Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Berea City Council meeting, Tuesday, May 7th, 2024. I'll call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, please let the record reflect that a quorum is present. This time I'll call on Cora Jane Wilson to lead us in the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Cora Jane.
If you all would stand with me, please. Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day, for everything that you mean to me and to this country. I pray, Lord, that you would bless this council and the mayor and city employees. Help us, Lord, to do the best for what you put before us. Help us to be good stewards of the taxpayers' money. Help us to do good, even if it doesn't seem right to other people, but to do what's right. I ask you, Lord, to be with our fellow council member, David. Touch his body, keep sending him on the road to recovery, and in Jesus' name we give you all praise. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Cora Jane. Next item on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
By Mr. Cottle. Is there a second? Jim Davis. Any discussion on the motion? Seeing none, I'll request a voice vote. All in favor of the motion to approve the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
And all opposed, please say no. Motion carries and the agenda is approved. The next item on the agenda is approval of the minutes from the April 16th, 2024 meeting. Is there a motion to approve? By Teresa Centers. Is there a second? By Cora Jane Wilson. Any changes or edits that need to be made to the minutes? Seeing none, I'll request a voice vote. All in favor of the motion to approve the minutes from April 16th, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, please say no. Motion carries and the minutes are approved. Next item on the agenda is we have two proclamations this week, this meeting, and what I want to do is something a little different. I want to read each of them, and then we'll ask someone to come forward to receive these proclamations. They both relate to public service and to our staff and others who serve the public in their capacity in their job. The first one is National Public Works Week, and I want to begin there. This is for the week of May the 19th through May the 25th, and the theme this year is advancing quality of life for all. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of people of Berea, Kentucky. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of the public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for building, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in public interest for citizens, civic leaders, and children in Berea, Kentucky to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest in understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2024 marks the 64th annual National Public Works Week, sponsored by American Public Works Association and the Canadian Public Works Association, be it now resolved, I, Bruce Fraley, Mayor, do hereby designate the week of May 19th through 25th, 2024 as National Public Works Week. I urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and recognize the substantial contributions they made to protecting our national health, safety, and advancing quality of life for all. And again, this is National Public Works Week, advancing the quality of life for all. Second proclamation is actually This week, we're celebrating National Public Service Recognition Week. This proclamation begins, whereas Americans are served every single day by public servants at the federal, state, county, and city levels who supply continuity to our society, and whereas public employees serve to keep our city working by ensuring clean water, reliable power, public infrastructure, health and recreation, public safety, and proper management of public funds and resources, and more, and whereas the efficiency of government relies on public employees who provide services in the quality and quantity required and expected by the public, and whereas the public employees of the City of Berea, Kentucky are committed to exhibiting the highest standards of professional excellence, creativity, skill, and customer service, and whereas the City of Berea recognizes the generous contributions of time and talent by city employees and the importance of the services they render. Now therefore I, Bruce Fraley, Mayor of the City of Berea, do hereby proclaim May 6th to the 10th, 2024 as Public Service Recognition Week in the City of Berea, and call upon all citizens to recognize and express their appreciation for the important contributions of public service throughout the city. And what I would like to do at this point, I know Roy and Mildred and Kevin are here representing Public Works, and Kevin, I'd like for you to come forward as well, where we talk about water and sewer infrastructure, as well as our streets, sidewalks, and our traditional things that we think of as our infrastructure taken by our Public Works Department with Roy and Mildred. So if you all would come forward and accept the first proclamation on behalf of your peers. And I would ask the council members, if you would, kind of squeeze in here where we can do a photo.
We'll say this before Jane right here. Right there. She can get her head right up.
You guys squeeze
Go
in
right here, honey. Just right.
They made yours tall.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
And you don't have to move today, that's the good thing.
Come on, Ronnie. Get in here, Ronnie.
Ronnie, stand right behind me.
Make your reputation better.
Ronnie, oh, that's good, okay. All right, 1, 2, 3. Very good,
And if you guys would stay, Mildred, you get to take this with you.
you guys can stay too.
What I would like for all
Don't
cities.
go, Ronnie, stay.
What I would like for all cities staff to leave more forward.
Stand. That doesn't sound good.
All cities
Stay, Ron. Sit. Speak.
Don't make me like my back's killing me. I can't hardly get up.
Shake.
Say goodbye.
You gotta get backwards for all of this.
I don't think he's talking to us. I think he's talking to them.
I'm sorry. You can do it. I got it. Let me do it. I'll send it to you. Yeah, we have a photographer here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
I have no idea.
Thanks, guys.
Let's try this one.
Ross, you gonna give a speech?
That's who it looks like to me.
All right, Roy, whenever you're ready, go right ahead. Get your button.
There we go. Okay, I'd like to thank everybody for the presentation of the proclamation, and all the people at utilities and public works and streets and stuff, we appreciate it, and got a lot of hard-working people down there. They keep the place going. So anything from streets to power lines, and every time you turn your water faucet on. So it's just nice being a part of all this, and got some really great people that work for us.
Thank you, Roy.
We also
Mildred?
have a great leader.
Thank you, Mildred. And just to make sure everybody knows, this is Mildred from Public Works. She keeps everybody in line down there, so. We thank you both, and Mildred also reminds us each time we need to recognize the Public Works Department. So thank you for what you do, Mildred, Roy, and for your team, and for the utilities team, Kevin. Thank you. And Rose, if you wouldn't mind briefing the council on Public Service Recognition Week, where you've accepted on behalf of all city employees.
Yes, and I'm very proud to accept this proclamation on behalf of our tremendous staff. They get a lot of work done. I think we hear about when things go wrong, but the things that go right are an unbelievable amount of work that our team produces every day. They're very hardworking and reliable, and I'm very grateful to work alongside them. And this Public Service Week now is a celebration. I believe we were, after the survey that all of the staff did a couple years ago, one of the things that we found out from them was that the way that we celebrated them in having an appreciation party every year wasn't really something that wasn't enjoyed by them. For most of them, we're not really pleased with how we did it. So we got together as a group, kind of a think tank, and tried to figure out what could we do better with that. And we did put some of those questions into the survey as well. So we took all that information and then got together and decided to celebrate. And Susan came up with the idea of Public Service Recognition Week as a way to celebrate our staff. So now we have our staff appreciation party at the end of this week, and during the week we do little things. So today was Crazy Sock Day, and I bought crazy socks and forgot to wear them, but we did have some cool socks. And tomorrow, I believe it's tomorrow, Crazy Hat is Hat Day. So I mean, we're celebrating, we're definitely recognizing everyone. We want to make fun, and then at the end of the week we'll have a big barbecue for everybody. So and I just want to also say that because of that survey and feedback that we got, we were able to start having lunch. Mayor Fraley and we want to have lunch with everybody that works here. So once a month we have a department, and we have enough departments for each month. And we go have lunch with them, or we bring lunch in, and we get to sit with them because we want to tell them one-on-one that we're thankful for them, because we really are grateful for all the work that they do. And Mayor Fraley tells them every single time, like, we're not the one, you're the ones out there getting the work done, and we can't do any of this without them. And we're so grateful for that, and grateful for the opportunity to sit and break bread with them and have these conversations where we can let them know face to face how much we appreciate them. So just on behalf of all administration, and I could even say, I'm sure, for the council, thank you to all of our staff, and looking forward to our barbecue on Friday. And I'm just really proud to be a part of this team. So
Thank you, Rose. Thank you for your leadership as well. All right, next item on the agenda. A couple of weeks ago, Pat Gailey, local person, asked to meet with me, and she informed me about a statewide effort, I believe, that's called Abolish Slavery Kentucky, and she asked if she could present this to the council, and of course I said yes. So Pat, you have the floor. Welcome.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, council members, and thank you, audience, citizens, for being here. Let's see.
I think it takes it a few minutes to warm up, Sean.
Yeah. A few minutes.
Daniel's back there with the remote trying to get you.
Right. Well, I can start talking without it. How many of you know that slavery is legal in Kentucky? Are you aware of that? One person? It is. And it is because it is in our Constitution that way. In Section 25, it says, slavery shall be prohibited in this state unless you are convicted of a crime. So that's pretty much the same thing that the 13th Amendment says. So it's a nationwide thing, not just a state thing. And I am working with Abolish Slavery Kentucky. I'm part of a national effort, Abolish Slavery National Network, to strike this exception clause so that our constitutions can say slavery is prohibited, period. And I work with a lot of people who think that that's a no-brainer.
Should be ready if you want to try and connect again. I think your computer went to sleep.
Silly computer. Oh, my computer's battery. Can I plug my computer in?
There's a cord right around here.
No input. Anyways, this national network that I work with has been working on this for, now I can't see on my screen. And I can't get rid of that thing because I can't see it. It's not, I can't see anything.
Can I steal your mouse for just a second?
Yeah.
So it should make it
Well, that works better there. No, I don't want to join the hotspot.
Let's see here. It's been a while since I've used Mac. Oh, you're fine. A button to switch the monitor. I'm just not familiar with.
While Daniel's working on that, the other thing we can do is if you'll email the PowerPoint to Robin or to Rose, we can make sure that that gets sent out to the council as well.
Yeah, okay, I can do that.
There you go.
There we go. Oh, and you can't see the red very much, but this shows exactly what the Section 25 says, that slavery and involuntary servitude in the state are forbidden, except as punishment for crime, whereof the party shall have been duly convicted. Now you might wonder, what does that actually do? What does it mean? You know, what effect does that have? Well, in this statement, it kind of ties slavery with our criminal justice system. And slavery happens to be a crime against humanity, according to the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights. So that means that at the core of our justice system are codified crimes against humanity. So let's just think about that for a minute. What does that mean? What effect does that have? Well, crimes against humanity promote fear, distrust, hatred, noncompliance, perhaps corruption, all kinds of bad things that we don't really want embedded in our justice system, right? We want our justice system to be clean and secure and strong. Without those crimes against humanity, we can have that. And we can do something about this slavery exception clause. We can strike it if we follow the legislative process, get bills passed to put it on the ballot so that Kentuckians can decide if they want slavery to be included in the Constitution or not. So I, along with other people in the national network, let's see, let me just skip over to this slide here. The Abolish Slavery National Network, and I'm working more locally in Kentucky with the All of Us Are None organization to inform people, to educate people about what this means, you know, so that people will know what's happening and we can go ahead and pass appropriate legislation. In the 1800s, Abraham Lincoln and John G. Fee stepped up to address slavery. They couldn't finish what they started. They made a good attempt, but they couldn't finish it. Berea has a long-standing tradition of social justice. Our strategic plan of 2019, page 3, says that. And Berea has in fact stepped up for racial justice in the past. My question is, what can Berea do now to help finish what Lincoln and Fee began? What other people are doing? 7 states have removed similar exception clauses from their constitution since 2018. About 20 more states, including Kentucky, are working to do the same. Washington, D.C. is not a state, doesn't have a constitution, but they're looking at adopting a resolution. Winchester's Board of Commissioners adopted a resolution denouncing slavery and other forms of discrimination 2 years ago. What brought them to that? I don't know. But they did. They stepped up and they did it. The Lexington Human Rights Commission and the Kentucky Human Rights Commission have passed resolutions of support for striking the exception clause. I am on my way to talking with the Berea Human Rights Commission to see if they'll be interested in doing that too. But I wanted you all to know what is going on. I wanted you to be aware that slavery is legal in Kentucky. And I would like for you to consider what you can do now to finish what Lincoln and Fee began. Consider supporting the Human Rights Commission in their efforts, if they choose to do it, to prepare a resolution to remove the exception clause. Consider promoting awareness by telling the truth about the ongoing legality of slavery in the U.S. Juneteenth is coming up in June. Juneteenth is a celebration of the end of slavery, but you see here that slavery has not ended yet. So let's tell the truth about that. Let's be honest and have a good discussion about that. Provide leadership by partnering with Abolish Slavery Kentucky to educate Berea citizens about the exception clause. And I think that that could take a number of different forms. I'm not sure what would be the most preferable, a townhouse or a town meeting, what a town hall kind of event might be appropriate. There might be other things that would be appropriate. I think we could be creative about it. So I'm asking you today to think about it and to see what can be done. And I am open to questions. I gave you a handout that kind of describes something about the effects that the exception clause has on us as citizens, on the state. You can look through there. Somebody, I'm sure, is gonna say, well, how do you know all these things are a cause of are a result of the exception clause? And how do you know that it's not? Because we've never not had the exception clause, right? We don't really know what things could be like. I think this is, again, where we can be creative. If we strike that exception clause, then we have a lot of room to create the kind of community that we want to create. So thank you.
Okay, I'll open the floor for questions or comments for Pat. Questions or comments? Seeing none, Pat, thank you for coming and sharing with us.
Thank you for
Appreciate you.
having me.
All right. Moving forward, the next item on the agenda is ordinance number 12-2024. This is a budget amendment, and we've put in parentheses there for a fire truck. And I will note that this was subject to a work session with the city council prior to the business meeting. This is the first reading. Mr. Gilbert.
An ordinance of the City of Berea, Kentucky, amending the 2023-2024 fiscal year budget for the City of Berea, ordinance number 08-024, revenues and expenditures. The City Council of the City of Berea, Kentucky does hereby ordain as follows: that ordinance number 08-2024, fiscal year 2023-2024, amended annual budget be and the same is hereby amended so that the amended fund revenue, fund expenditures, and ending fund balances for each fund are summarized as follows. Governmental funds. Estimated fund balance as of July the 1st. Amended general fund, $18,889,000. Total revenue, amended amount, $17,813,000. Amended total expenditures, $21,457,000. Ending fund balance, $15,245,000. Proprietary funds, no changes. Section 2, each amendment made in Section 1 are hereby determined to be before a public purpose and in the interest of and for the benefit of the City of Berea and its citizens. Section 3, other than specified in Section 1 above, the provisions of ordinance number 08-2024 as amended remain in full force and effect. Section 4, all ordinances or parts of ordinances in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. This ordinance shall be published according to law.
Thank you, Jerry. And again, this is the first reading with the second reading scheduled for May the 21st. But per past practice, I will open the floor for any discussion or comments about the first reading. Discussion or comments? Seeing none, I will request a non-binding vote. This does not require a motion, just to see where everybody stands. And I would ask you to respond with an aye if you are in favor of the ordinance at this point, and a nay if you are opposed. And I'll begin with Jim Davis.
Aye.
Teresa Centers.
Aye.
Jerry Little.
Aye.
Steve Cottle.
Aye.
Cora Jane Wilson.
Aye.
And Ron Terrell.
Aye.
Thank you, appreciate that. And again, the binding vote will be after the second reading to pass, hopefully pass the ordinance. So again, thanks, and thanks to Sean Sandlin and Rose Beverly for their work, and Susan. Can't forget Susan because she's got the numbers for us, right? But thanks to all of you for getting this before the council, and for your work, Sean, with trying to find a good deal for the city. Greatly appreciate it. Moving forward with department head reports, tonight's featured department head is Berea Police Chief Jason Hayes. Jay, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mayor. City Council, City Administrator. Seems like I just presented to you guys, but y'all always happy to see me. So I don't have a whole lot tonight. I just want to give you an update on current and upcoming events for our department. We just completed our spring firearms training last week. In the next couple of months, the entire department will complete TASER recertification and stops training, and that's strategies and tactics for patrol stops. we're always doing in-house training every month, trying to get guys what they need to be trained on. Our special needs prom was last Friday. That went great again. I want to thank tourism and parks and Xenia for all the hard work they did on that. I didn't get to attend, but I heard that it went fantastic. So a lot of hard work went into that. Next week is Police Week. We will be having a police-themed sidewalk art contest with the top submissions being voted on through Facebook. I will have my own art on the PD sidewalk tomorrow. So if you haven't seen my art, you should come out and look at it because it's pretty good. I'm pretty awesome. So come out. It's not there yet. Tomorrow I'm going to draw out here. That's a good question. Hopefully we can avoid the rain. It's rained all week. But, on the eve of Police Week, I'd like to extend my gratitude to our community for their outstanding support to our department. Some say this is a thankless job, but it's really not. We get thanked daily for our service, and a lot of that comes down to officers giving good service, but it's also the community working with us, and we're very thankful for how they support us. We'll see that next week when we get pizzas and donuts and coffee and everything for Police Week, but we really appreciate it. I want to extend that thanks to all of you up here. I'm still pretty new at this position, but I know without the support of it, with everyone sitting up here, that we couldn't do it. So I really appreciate y'all's support since I became chief. I'd like to share a few statistics with you guys. Not a whole lot, but just January to April of this year. So far this year, total crimes reported have been 124. And if that number holds, we'll be again under what we were last year, which was 458. Collision stats, so far we've had 124 these first 4 months. Our top 3 locations were Chestnut Street with 18, I-75 southbound, and again Walmart parking lot. So people can't drive in that parking lot. Our officers have issued 738 citations so far and 306 courtesy notices. I'd like to give a little update on the flock camera system that we just purchased. We have 2 installed at this time, and we're working on the installation of the 8 remaining for a total of 10 cameras strategically placed around the city. We just got our policy approved today, and we're planning for training on officers on how to use the software before its implementation. I know the council has a good idea on how the flock camera systems work. We did a presentation for you guys, but if it's okay, I'd like to kind of give what it does and doesn't do to the citizens of Berea so they kind of know what to expect. So flock cameras, what they are, they're an automated license plate reader cameras that take a snapshot of passing vehicles' license plates. These cameras are focused on public roadways to capture the images. These cameras then generate alerts to officers that are working based on the following categories: stolen vehicles, stolen license plates, wanted persons, Amber Alerts, missing persons, and protection orders. The cameras are also an important tool to solve crimes. For example, a vehicle is used to break into a local business and a witness is able to give a vehicle description based on the location of the crime and the description of the vehicle. Investigators can then search for vehicles in that area matching the given description to generate an investigative lead on possible license plate and the owner of the vehicle. We would also use cameras that are around town to kind of track that vehicle. So if it goes through the one at Walmart and you see it go through the one at the other end of town, we could let Richmond know they're headed your way to watch for that car. What the flock cameras are not, they are not live video feeds. They only generate still pictures. They are not to enforce traffic laws. They are for criminal investigations and locating missing or endangered persons. No traffic tickets will be issued from the use of these cameras. What that means is if you go to some other cities and you run a red light, you get a ticket in the mail for running that red light. That's not what these cameras do. It takes a police officer to issue a citation. If an officer's behind you, you run a red light, you get a ticket from him. So on our commitment to privacy, this was part of the policy we just got approved. No data collected by these cameras is going to be sold to third parties. The cameras are for law enforcement use only. Policies are in place to ensure officers are appropriately trained in their use. Furthermore, our policy dictates that all data, unless evidence in a criminal case, is only retained for 30 days. Audits of the system's use will be presented to me to ensure the strict compliance with this policy. We will also put a Facebook post out concerning the flock cameras so that if anyone has any questions, we just want them to know what they're doing for us and for the city, not to be scared of it sending the ticket to your mailbox. So finally, Thursday I'm having surgery on my back. I have a herniated disc in my lower back, so I'm going to be out for, the doctor says 1 to 2 weeks. He assures me that it's a minor procedure. However minor it is, I would appreciate y'all's thoughts and prayers when I go through this. So like I said, I could be out for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I don't know how long it's going to take to recover, but I'm confident in my command staff. And in the theme of Appreciation Week, I do appreciate them, and I know that they'll hold the fort down and be there for you guys if you need anything, and the citizens. Very, very proud of my team from the top to the bottom, to non-sworn members, detectives, street crimes officers, everybody. So just kind of wanted to end on that, and that's all I've got.
Thank you, Jay. We'll open the floor to questions or comments for the police chief on council. Anybody? You're off the hook. They're taking it light on you. Good luck with the surgery, brother, and we'll be in your corner.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right. Would any other department heads like to address the council tonight? All right, seeing none, we'll move forward to public comment. Would any members of the public like to address the council tonight? Okay, seeing none, we'll move forward to the city administrator's report. Now I'll recognize City Administrator Rose Beverly. Rose, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and council members. So I would like to not to dwell on this, but just to take an opportunity to specifically say, because it is May, we have all these appreciation weeks, thank you to Public Works for, and of course utilities, for all the work that you do to keep the city going. It's an incredible amount of work that gets done, and the amount of money when we price out a job to get it done, if a contractor came in, we add on a lot of big projects to their workload because it's so expensive to have that stuff done. And so they have their everyday stuff, they're busy all the time, and then we'll add in these huge projects. And I'll just give you an example with the shooting range. You know, we're redoing that out there. We got a bid on that for close to $500,000, and I believe by the time we're done, we'll probably have $100,000 into it. So, I mean, that's the kind of money that we're saving by utilizing our own workers. But at the same time, that takes them away from their everyday stuff. So they're out there putting out a lot of work, and we're really grateful. They're great guys, and they help in so many ways, like decorating the town and helping with all that stuff. So we just want to give a shout out to them. And then National Police Appreciation Week as well. I know we already talked about that, and but we do have a really great group of guys, and I get to work with them here all the time, and they're very professional. They do a great job. We get a lot of compliments on them from the community, and I just appreciate the community support and all the work that they do to reach out to the community. That helps a lot, and so we're very lucky to have those kind of professionals in our community. And I will say this, not just that, but this is a big deal to have. I don't know how, I think we're over a year for sure with 0 turnover from people leaving us. That's unheard of right now in the municipality world, and probably the sheriff as well, at the county level. All I know is everywhere I go, all they want to talk about is turnover for their police department. How do we stop the bleeding? And somehow the city of Berea has done that, and I know that that has a lot to do with our great police chief and the leadership that they're giving in the police department. And so I'm very grateful for all that, and I think we need to always take time to appreciate and thank you for your hard work. So on another note, bypass lighting will be going in the next couple of weeks. It's basically weather related now, but I believe everything's ready to go. And I know Roy was talking about that today, but it seems like, Kevin, we're ready to go on it. The foundations are poured and all of that stuff. I'm probably saying all that wrong because I don't work in their world, but just be looking for that. It should be coming soon. And finally, I'll just let you guys know the solid waste RFP. I am getting ready to put that out. Thank you very much to JT. He's been helping me. I don't even know how many pages that RFP is. It's very long. We've been working hard on it. Hoping to get that put out within the next week or two and have it due back to us by July 1st to give them time to put the bids together. So, and that contract is up in March of 2025. So we want to give them plenty of time if someone bids and has to get the supplies to come into our community and the people. And that is all that I have today, so I would be glad to take any questions.
All right, questions or comments for the city administrator? Ronnie?
Oh,
All right. Seeing none, Rose, thank you. Good
thank you very
report.
much.
We'll move forward to the city, to the mayor's comments. Tonight, really, I was going to kind of cover some of the things that Rose did. I do want to mention the Special Needs Gala. I think that's what we've changed the name to. And the students, the young people that come to that really enjoy it. And if it's something that you haven't been to, I would encourage you to go next year because it's sheer joy for the participants, and it's also sheer joy for the city staff that puts this on. We have a great group of parents, but also our tourism, business and tourism development and police co-sponsor that. There are other staff members. Parks is certainly involved. I know we had a ton of work from the parks to get that ready at the Acton Folk Center. And I had somebody that asked me, they said, where does anybody else do that? I said, nobody else does this. This is what Berea is about. So made me really proud to be there and to know all the hard work that went into that. So for everyone involved, participating, getting it set up, thank you for what you did. We're a caring community and it shows. Public Service Appreciation Week is this week. And again, there's been a lot of work by our staff. A lot of that, as Rose mentioned, was based on surveys that we're trying to be responsive to our employees on things that they would rather see, but also to the council as well, because there was a lot of, you guys were very involved with suggesting surveys and, you know, kind of taking the temperature for the employees and what they would like to see us do different or do better, and that we're responding to that. So again, that was a team effort, and I can't say thank you enough to all of our staff, from the very newest person to the very most senior person on our professional staff of employees. That concludes my comments, and I'll next go to council comments, and this time I'll begin with Steve Cottle.
The only thing that I'll say is that with both the proclamations that you mentioned, we do have a incredibly dedicated staff and across the board, and we've talked about a lot of different groups tonight, but I will tell you the reality is that almost every single person, if probably not all of the employees that we have, could go somewhere else and do the same work and probably make more and probably have a lighter workload, but they care about this place and they care about the people who live here. And it shows in the work that's done every day. There's not a single department within our city that I think doesn't really excel at whatever it is that they do. We've talked about a lot of examples about that, but I think about the police department and the communication and the level of community policing that they do is the reason why they're so supported in Berea. It's not because Berea is a special place, but it's not because we have just magical citizens, and we have great citizens, but the work of our police officers is the reason why they get the relationships that they do in our community. The work of our fire department and the outreach that they do and the camp that we put on is the reason why we have such great relationships. And that is true. Our public works, when you see them, they're doing a great job. They're making sure that everything is being done, and they're doing it with a smile. And our utility, you know, we have crazy low outage rates because of the amazing work that we have. And those are 4 examples, but every department that we have, all of that is true of. And so we have an incredible staff, and the city that we have would not be anywhere near what it is without them. So I hope that we can do lots of things to make sure that these recognition weeks and times show those employees exactly what they mean to all of us.
Thank you, Steve. Next, we'll move to Jerry Little. Jerry. Thank you, sir. Next, we'll move to Teresa Centers. Teresa.
Well, I'd like to thank all the employees, and as Rose mentioned, sometimes what we get to hear is negative things when people call us and things going on, but surprisingly, we do hear a lot of positive about the employees too, and we appreciate that. But from every department head to the newest person on staff, I agree that everybody works hard here, and we do appreciate them, and we want you all to know how much we appreciate you. And Sean, I really appreciate you watching out for bargains like you're doing today. And Priscilla, I noticed something your department is doing. Is it next week when you're having your date night movie thing? This Friday. Okay, so always thinking outside the box, always doing new things, and we just appreciate you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Teresa. Next, we'll move to Jim Davis. Jim.
I just want to thank all the employees of the city for their hard work and their loyalty and dedication, and the department heads, and without you all, nothing would get done. So we do appreciate you. And Chief, good luck on your surgery. Hope things go well for you, and you get back as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Next, we'll move to Ron Terrell. Ronnie.
I want to thank Rose for busting my bubble. I wanted to ask her about the lighting of the bypass, and she'd done it before I could ask her. But we all appreciate getting the lights up at the intersections. That's all.
Thank you, Ronnie. And for the last word, Cora Jane Wilson. Cora Jane, you have the floor.
I just want to thank everybody for coming, and our employees. You all are what makes the city of Brea. You all are the heart and soul of what makes us. And I appreciate everything from the people that mow to the people that sit up and keep all of our books straight, Susan. Donna that greets everybody with a smile at tourism. I mean, Kevin, they keep our lights on. I could go on, but you all are what makes us, and I appreciate everything you do. Scylla, keep, the parks, and if you haven't been down to the parks, go watch a ball game, watch those little kids, they're so much fun. But thank you all. I appreciate everything you do. Chief, you'll be in our prayers. Hope keep us posted. I'll try to keep up with you, but thank you all. Have a great week.
Thank you, Cora Jane. That brings us to the end of our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn by Teresa Centers and a second by Steve Cottle? All in favor of the motion to adjourn, please say aye. All opposed, please say no. The meeting is adjourned.